up on yourself. And Dapper, did you hear how the room got while you were talking? Well, it got extremely quiet. I just want you to know I appreciate it. And I think everybody else here does too. So I just wanted to let you know that. You know, testimonies, the reason why we do testimonies around here, because your story is so important. It's powerful. It's powerful to you to be able to tell it, and it's powerful for others to be able to hear it. And in our mental health age, how about that terminology, mental health age, you know, a lot of our, this is going to sound critical, and I guess it is, but I believe it to be the truth. Most of our mental health help is about medication and not about letting people tell their story. There is a supernatural power that takes place when we process. See, because to be able to tell your story, you have to think about it, because it's swirling around your head, right? You have to think about it. You have to organize it. Then you have to speak it. Then you hear what it is you're saying, and there is a real work that goes on, and I just want to say that that is where a lot, if not all, of the real healing comes from, is processing your story. Now, it's not about just going over and over the bad parts, but it's processing it, and sometimes you have to reorder it. See, because when we face trauma, oftentimes it gets stuck in our conscious mind, and we're not able to process it into our non-conscious or our unconsciousness. And that when we're doing this, we're ordering it and sifting it and processing it and finding some internal mental clarity and emotional peace, I believe. That's what I think anyway. And if you disagree with me, you're just wrong. Just kidding. I'm glad you're here. I've got a few minutes. I've got sheets in the back if you're interested. We've been going over SNL, the best version of yourself. We've been talking about this for a long time, and hopefully we'll get a little ways further in it. We have decided that most of us, we don't even know what the best version of ourself is, but we have a pretty good idea what the worst version of ourself is. And we carry that picture around in our mental billfold all the time. And see, and if we're carrying that picture around, your brain is a servo mechanism, okay? And that means it's following your instructions the best as it can. And if it sees that you're bad, then what it's going to try to do is organize and structure the things of your world to come and line up with the picture that you have in your head. And if you have sick thoughts, guess what? You're going to have a sick life. Am I telling the truth? So, oh my God, what do we do? Well, the Apostle Paul said, you know, that I would do, I don't do, and that I do, I don't want to do. Oh, wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? Romans 7:14 or so. And so, and we're all caught in that struggle. And he said, so with the mind, I'm going to serve the law of God. In other words, I'm going to start directing myself, my thoughts, where I want to go, instead of where I've always went. Do you know what I'm talking about? And it's hard. I remember as I started down this pathway, I just felt like I felt like I just said, "Oh God, rip it out of me." Anybody ever thought that or said that? And then it scared me when I said that, because I came to the conclusion immediately that if he ripped all that out of me, there wouldn't be anything left of me. And then I said, "No, don't do that." And then I said, "Yeah, go ahead, do it anyway." And I don't know, I may have missed my opportunity there for him to take it all out, but I'm better than I used to be, okay, but not as good as I'm going to be, all right? And so, but the thing of it is, you have to change that picture. Now, I'm not talking about faking it till you're making it. I'm not talking about faking it till you're making it. I'm talking about seeing what you want, okay, that you're desiring to have in your life, and you practice that, okay? You work on seeing that. Now, there's a part of your mind that will say, no, you can't do it. Yeah, it will, right? It always has. But then there's that other part that's in there that says, yes, that's what I want. Now, it kind of remind me of the old Indian proverb about, the grandson that came to his grandpa and said, "Grandpa, you tell us about the white dog and the black dog, but I want to know which one's going to win." And it's the one that you feed, the one you practice, the one you say, "This is what I want to do." And that's the reason why gratefulness, by the way, is so important. So important. Why? Because all of us, we forget those things that we're grateful for. Because, would you like to know why we always seem to think about the negative and not the good? Would you like for me to tell you? I've told you before, but I think I'll tell you again if that's okay. Is that all right? Because, see, our brain is designed to keep you safe, all right? Survival mechanism, right? And it's designed, in fact, I have a quote down here on my thoughts here, is that your unconscious mind is designed to protect you, not make you happy, right? And because, see, its primary function is just about survival. So it looks for all the threats and all the negatives, and so it's automatically sifting things. It don't even see the good stuff. It just finds the things that might be threatening to us and sends signals to our brain that be alert, be alert, be alert. And so you're standing in that place, and you miss all the good stuff. You miss all the good stuff, and it's just doing its job of trying to protect you. And that's the reason why we have to double down on our thinking. Romans 12:2, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of whose mind? Your mind. It's your mind. It's your job. You got to do it. And if you don't do it, it won't get done. Because God can't do it for you. He'll help you, but you have to be willing to do it. Does that make sense? And so what we have to do is, it's designed to try to protect you, and so what we have to do is we have to, because in our earlier stages, when our brain was developed, it was all about survival more than anything. In fact, you didn't even have the ability to consciously think. And nowadays, when you're in survival mode, you lose the ability to think rationally. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is my favorite statement. One writer says when you get overwhelmed and your amygdala kicks in and takes over and you go into fight or flight, it shuts down your conscious mind, and you become it's totally stupid then, because you lose the ability to think. Why? Because thinking is not a part of survival, which doesn't sound right, but think about it. Yeah, because you don't need to think about stuff to survive. But nowadays, just because we're triggered doesn't mean that everything's a threat. And so what we have to do, we're talking about gratefulness right here. What we have to do is we need to practice gratefulness. And we need to pull that in and realize that I am grateful and that I'm protected. I am so protected, I'm not even aware how protected I am. Because, see, you don't know all the good things that's happened in your life. It just happened to you, and you just kept on going. And that's all right. I'm just saying, if we just really knew the forces that work in our behalf. Because all we look is at the bad. I'll give you an Einstein. How about that? Everybody likes Einstein. I like this. He said, I think somebody asked him, is the universe friendly to mankind? That's a pretty good question, right? So he said, in my opinion, it is designed to be friendly to mankind. He said, because in the entire universe, there are so many things that are designed to work correctly, or we would not exist. Even in our body, there are so many things that, we do stuff to our body all the time to try to mess it up, and it still goes ahead and works out, right? You know what I'm talking about? Hello? Are you with me? Okay? And so he said, yes, there are some things that go wrong in the world. He said, but the ratio of the bad to the good is enormous. There are so many good to just a few things that go wrong. But we don't know, we don't recognize, we don't see that perspective. What do you think about that? And if we can open up our eyes and open up our brain and connect with our mind and have an idea and see and I've been saying to myself, why didn't I know this stuff earlier? It would have been so much better. You know what I'm talking about? And then my next thought is, how much am I not getting now that I'll wish later that I'd gotten now, but I'm not there? And oh man, well we just got to do what we can where we're at, right? So my best suggestion is, let's go ahead and live the best version of ourselves that we can right now, okay? And see, let our imagination, in fact, I think it was Einstein that said our imagination is the most powerful tool we have. See, because our imagination reaches outside of what we know into the unknown. And I don't know why I'm on Einstein tonight, but it's good, so let's go with it. And another thing he said that there's more in the unknown than in the known. Okay? And so that means whatever I know, this little cluster of stuff I know for my life, there are eons of stuff, more stuff out there that I don't know. And what's the possibilities? Oh yeah, there's going to be some difficulties out there, but there's a whole lot more good stuff. Okay? And if I stop sabotaging myself, hello, how about you? If I will just stop being my worst enemy and try to be my best friend and let his grace be sufficient in my life, then I'm going to have what he wants me to have. I don't know about you guys, but that felt pretty good right there. And so I kind of went into a preach. I hope that's okay with you. But anyway, well, he kind of did in some things. So, you know, we have to shift our thinking, and as my sheet here says, to help us to be the best version of ourselves, we have to master our thinking, and we have to master our emotions, okay? And we've talked a lot about here, I taught months on mastering your emotions, and there's a lot of good stuff in that. But this is mastering your emotions and becoming resilient. And resilience is this, and it's on the sheet. It's at C, if you want to. It's on page 1. It says resilience is to overcome difficult situations and the ability to recover quickly. Resilience. You know, Henry Ford said this. He says, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. All right? And I'm not asking you, I am not asking you to lie to yourself, but I am asking you to open up your brain to the possibilities that are out there. And what if I'm telling the truth? What if things can turn around in your life? What if you could get free? What if you're freer than you've been, okay? You're better right now than you've ever been in a long time or forever. Am I telling the truth? And so why are you so mad at yourself because of where you're at right now? It's the best you've been, right? Hello? It's the best you've been. So accept the fact that you're better, okay? Celebrate it. All right, yeah, okay, why, yes. Joy can empower you, okay? And you recognize, hey, I'm not where I was, okay? All right, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm better than I've ever been. So what's the option? Well, the option is, sabotage yourself and start all over. Cave it in. And how's that going to work out for you? Right? Do you want to give it all back? No. All right? And so recognize that, as I said earlier about relying on God's love, relying on His grace is like building muscles. And as you're getting better, there's a part of us that we want to move on. I feel stuck. That is the way process is. Am I telling the truth? It's always been that way. You look back in your own life, you go through these ebbs and flows, you go through these cycles, and there's times that there's growth and there's time that there's not growth. And so we recognize that, and we need to accept the fact that that's what's going on, because you don't know what all's happening in your life right now. You don't know. You can't see it. You understand what I'm saying? You can't see it. Even though you want to see it, you can't see it. So what we have to do is we have to trust, okay? It's like a farmer, okay? A farmer, and one of the, and maybe I'll talk about next week on step 10, there's another passage about and they liken to the soldier and to the athlete and to the farmer, and the farmer has to be able to be patient, work hard, and then be patient. You know what I'm talking about? You work hard. Now, I've never been a farmer, but I worked for a farmer, and I worked in the hay field, and there's a time to get it, and there's a time to you just, there's nothing to do. But in that nothing to do, there's stuff happening even though you're not doing anything. Do you know what I'm talking about? Stuff is always, always, always happening in your life. Don't sabotage it. If you've planted winter wheat, don't go out and dig it up and see how it's doing. All right? Leave it in the ground and let it do what it was sent to do. There's stuff in you to help you. Now, there's going to be times you're going to feel bad, crappy, okay? All right? And that's part of the process too. Why am I feeling so bad? Well, maybe it's because I'm dwelling too much on the past, or maybe some things have come up that I need to deal with, but I don't want to deal with them, and so I'm trying to push it off, but it's not working out very well, and I'm feeling bad. Do you know what I'm talking about? Anybody here? Rest, you guys are a bunch of liars. I only have one hand. And then, see, that's what step 10 is about, is taking that inventory and checking and checking it out and seeing, running the list, asking God, what did I do? What do I need to change today? What did I do right? What do I need to be grateful for? Right. And when we do that, it seems so little. But over time, it makes a difference.
Reminds me of work, sometimes it's easy to get defeated when you see people struggle day in and day out. And so one of the mottos that I have is that it's our responsibility to find the celebration in every interaction. So it doesn't matter what it is, it doesn't matter who it is, it doesn't matter how big the struggle. It's our job to help people find the celebration in every interaction we have with somebody. And so that's one of the things that we do every single day. And so they call it the high five hallway, because if you come through there, with somebody to walk up through, and it may be just an appointment with the case manager to try to get a food voucher for, or to try to get into a shelter. But we're going, woohoo, good job, high five, and they hear that every single office they go by, because they kept an appointment,
Yes.
So
And that's a big deal.
it is a big deal, and and we celebrate all of those interactions of, hey, good job. There's one less substance in your system this week. Congratulations.
Yes.
We acknowledge that hard work, and so it's just reminding that being grateful and sometimes even with ourselves, sometimes it's hard. But like you were talking about, looking in the mirror, sometimes it's us looking in the mirror and going, what can I do to make my day better? And it's my job to find the celebration in my day.
Yes. And the neat stuff about asking yourself a question, because we ask ourselves questions all the time, but they're usually bad questions. And so we need to ask ourselves healthier questions, because our brain automatically goes to work to try to bring or solve or conclude what we need to do. And just what you said there, I said it earlier. I said, you're here. That's important, okay? Because it's every step takes energy. It takes effort, okay? Every journey takes one step, and so we have to continue and it takes effort. So continue, please continue. And I just want to conclude by saying that, you're in this, but you're not in this alone, even though a lot of times we feel alone. And oftentimes we say we want to be alone. And yes, we do, but most of the time we don't. Okay? And because actually what we would probably prefer most of the time is to be away from ourselves. But that's the trouble with a lot of us, because we need to learn to accept ourselves and love ourselves. And when we do that, healing starts. So I'm glad you're here tonight. I hope you got some benefit, some help out of tonight. Maybe you learned something, picked up something. Because not only do we want to help intellectually with information, but we want to help you emotionally and spiritually, and you soak that up by being here, and hopefully you've done that tonight. Amen. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may His face shine upon you and give you His peace. Amen. And make healthy choices. Thanks, everybody.